we're breaking down squared circles. No, the squared circle breakdown is here. And you guys know me. Do I really need to say my name? What about my partners? Do they need to say their names? Anybody?
Yeah,
I
because
think so.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Introduce yourselves.
Hi everybody, I'm Kristen. I'm on the BlackcateFeline channel. Used to be on the BlackcateFeline channel before we took a amazingly long hiatus. That's your cue, Guapo.
Oh, that's it? Oh,
You should tell them
Hola,
who they
mis amigos. I am Senor de Guapo, and I am here now on this new podcast because Kristen doesn't know how to do things on her channel anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Shut the fuck up, Guapo.
That ain't right. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to let you know that I have a goal in mind. This is actually going to be a podcast that'll last more than 2 or 3 episodes. I will make sure of it.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to make sure of it. I want this to actually mean something other than that Cracked Skull show I did 5 years ago. Anyways, there is some great television out there. You know, you got Game of Thrones, you got The Walking Dead. Hell, you've got some Netflix series such as Narcos, 13 Reasons Why, Stranger Things. These are great television shows, but no, the three of us idiots out here like to take our time to watch Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night Smackdown. And we're going to talk about them, shall we?
Yes,
Yeah.
wrestling.
I was just about to say, are you really putting Monday Night Raw in the same realm as fucking Game of Thrones?
Well, let me tell you this. I do not watch Game of Thrones. That's my mother's show because she read all of the books and she watches the whole entire television series. That type of show is just not my thing. Just personal
I binge watched the shit out of it.
I could tell. I binge watched Stranger Things. I binge watched Walking Dead, and unfortunately, I binge watched 13 Reasons Why.
Can't blame you on that. It's good.
It's good, but there's just you know what? This isn't about 13 Reasons Why. This is a wrestling podcast. I ain't gonna fucking talk about what pissed me off about a suicidal girl, okay? Anyways, we've got a show to review, okay? Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about Raw first. The first segment, Roman Reigns came out, talked about Braun Strowman a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just.
No.
It's
more like.
sad. And then that face Roman Reigns is just like, yes, I know you all hate me. Like, hang on, let me talk. You're gonna like the part where I talk about how I was beat up.
By the way, I beat The Undertaker.
God. Yeah, you're not the first one, Roman. I'm just letting you know there was another guy before you that beat him, and he beat the shit out of you 2 years ago at WrestleMania. But besides the point, I just want to make it very clear here that the greatest quote of all time this year is going to be, "I'm not finished with you." Because everything that Braun Strowman does and touches becomes gold. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. That man took a quote such as, "Roman Reigns is trash, and now you are too," and made it classic. This guy is a demigod. Braun Strowman is the man. I don't give a fuck. And that's why the segment rocked.
And that's why he's definitely gonna lose at Battleground or whatever the next Raw pay-per-view is.
Balls of fire.
Oh, my bad. That's why I forgot what it was called, because it's stupid.
But see, that's why you should remember it. It's so stupid.
Wait. Can we take a quick second of how WWE passed up on Bad Blood to now have a brand new pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire.
Great Balls of Fire. You forgot the adjective.
Well,
I forgot the great because you know what? There's nothing making this great again.
The logo looks like a fiery penis.
It does. It looks like two actual testicles on fire in the flames of the penis.
I mean, there was one worse name. St. Valentine's Day Massacre. They had to name that.
It was bad, but you know what? I honestly think that would have been better than this.
Maybe, but I can't remember the last time Valentine's Day landed on a Sunday that also happened to have a pay-per-view on it. So, whatever.
Well, getting back to the Braun Strowman Roman Reigns segment, I can't believe they're making Roman the underdog again. They're trying to hype this up as there's no way he's going to be able... Why would we think there was no way he was going to be able to beat him?
Wait. Are you... hold up. Let's just get this right, shall we? You are actually not buying what Vince is trying to sell you? Is that what you're telling me?
I know, it's amazing.
Are you trying to...
I just can't.
Are you trying to say that creative is not doing their job and putting over the correct talent?
I am. I know it's a controversial thing to say, but that is what I'm saying.
Let me tell you something. You don't like what you think you like. You like what they tell you to like.
You to like.
Okay?
Well, and I've always been a person that's like, I don't hate Roman Reigns like a lot of people hate Roman Reigns. I just feel like, he has the stink of Vince McMahon wants him to be the guy. And he just, reeks of it. And so he's never going to be loved by the fans. I don't think he's awful. I think he's okay. I think his mic skills are getting better. I think he's just new, still green and shit. But it's just never going to happen. He just reeks of, this is who Vince wants to be the face of this company.
But do you know why? All joking aside, do you know why? It's because Vince has a weird way of how he goes about things. And it goes back to when he first bought his father's company, when he started pushing Hogan. He has this weird thing of putting all of his eggs in one basket and marketing this guy, like going up to people and saying, I want so-and-so amount of T-shirts of this guy, as well as cups, socks, and DVDs, whatever the hell. And he needs to see that money come back some way. So if he was to just say, fuck it, we're done with pushing him, he loses a shit ton of money that he invested in this one guy. And that's part of the reason why he's stubborn as hell, because he put all of his eggs in one basket with Roman Reigns.
Like I said, I don't hate the guy like a lot of people hate the guy. I think he's just okay. And and in this WWE, when you have Kevin Owens, you have Finn Balor, you have Seth Rollins, you have AJ Styles, you have all these really good indie guys. You have Shinsuke Nakamura. You have all these guys. Being okay is not good enough anymore. It just is.
I wouldn't even say Roman Reigns is better than okay. It's like you said. They're trying so hard to make him into an underdog. Let me ask you something. All right, actually, I'll ask both of you a question. How the hell are you supposed to perceive this mean-looking Samoan as a cheerful underdog?
You can't, because he's not. He's obviously bigger and stronger than most of the talent that they put going against him.
It's all aesthetics. That's all they're looking at. Oh, the guy's handsome. Okay, great. What else has he got? He can move very quickly. Yeah, we got a ton of those guys running around here. AJ Styles.
It's called the Cruiserweight division.
Well, no, that too, but that's another failure and a half, and I'll get to that when we talk about the Cruiserweight match. But you've got AJ Styles, who's hitting near 40 and doesn't look like he's ever lost a step. I mean,
he's 40?
He's 40 years old.
Getting close.
Is he?
Dude looks like he's maybe 35. Maybe.
But that's how good AJ Styles is. He is the man. He's, as his nickname is, phenomenal. But yeah, Roman, a guy who I think could be a top guy if they allow him to be Roman, a mean-looking Samoan that beats the shit out of people.
Roman Reigns would do really well if he could even be a face if his only mic time was that he came out like that. As much as everybody hates that he beat The Undertaker, that promo he did the night after he beat The Undertaker, where all he said was, "This is my yard now," that's the best promo he could have done.
Oh, God. I was there that night. Literally, I don't know how it came off on TV, but if
a snobby asshole?
No, I'm talking the crowd.
Oh, crowd?
The crowd.
They fucking hated him.
No, to be there, the building literally shook when he came out and everyone booed him. I think it was more not just because of the fact they hate him, but because Undertaker's such an established guy that they don't like that somebody beat him at the biggest stage of them all. So regardless, you have those two combined together, it's just going to be a hostile crowd. So, but...
Well, and the Raw after Mania is notorious for being, like, just an extra level of hostile.
Mm-hmm. It was a very fun Raw, by the way.
Right.
But anyways, what happened? The ambulance came out. That's what happened.
Yeah, ambulance came out. They, Braun Strowman came, beat up on Roman Reigns a little more.
I don't think...
You know, just more, they're trying to make Roman look like the underdog in this match.
For no reason, because Roman doesn't need to look like the underdog.
Why?
Well, and he's already beaten Braun Strowman.
I don't think...
Correct.
I don't think Braun said my quote. I don't think he...
Nope.
He didn't scream I'm not finished with you! Oh, God. I mark out when he says that. It's great.
I guess we'll move on to the next segment.
Yeah.
We had Elias Sampson,
Yes!
Sheamus,
The
and
Drifter!
Cesaro starting out, trying to do their little number, which ended up being Sampson, Cesaro, and Sheamus versus Finn Balor and the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
I find Elias Sampson's gimmick to be a little boring, but...
What?
Well, but hang on, give me a second. I find it to be a little boring, but it's a gimmick that did not work well on NXT and is working 100 times better on Raw.
Maybe it's just me and how I love troll gimmicks. See Chris Jericho 2016. This gimmick, just to me, is such a heat magnet. And it's not a heat magnet in the Roman Reigns one. I mean, many people may think that, but keep in mind, this character that he's portraying obviously isn't trying to be the top guy. It's just a guy to elicit a reaction. And unless he gets reactions such as go away or fire Samson, like Roman's gotten, I don't think he's got go away heat just yet.
I think it's good. Maybe it'll grow on me at some point, but I like the idea though that he's coming out and getting mad when people like interrupt him, which is how this whole Finn Balor feud started.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. Finn Balor and Elias Sampson, just a weird combination of guys to feud with.
It is.
But from what I read, quote unquote, it is the dirt sheets. Apparently Vince is so high on Elias Sampson, that type of high, that he apparently is allowing the guy to write his own segments.
Awesome.
He's allowing Elias free reign on his, which he should do for most of his guys, obviously within reason. PG, don't swear, or don't do this, but that's the problem. All these wrestlers are heavily scripted and they can't ever be themselves. 20 years ago, the reason why the Attitude Era was so great was because everyone was themselves. Even fucking jobbers were over.
To continue on with the match, though, the part, oh my God, I don't know if it was distracting for you guys, but it was so distracting. They invited Josh Duhamel, one of the guys from Transformers, onto the commentary table, and they're literally, like, trying to interview the guy during this match. And it was so goddamn distracting. It was like and they pretty much said it. It's like he'd never been to like a wrestling show before. He was trying to promote that he's being a director in a WWE Studios movie, and that Sheamus was going to be in the movie, and the dude fucking forgot Sheamus was going to be in the movie. Like he forgot to mention that Sheamus was in the damn movie.
Yeah,
this is the whole point of him being out there.
He was very distracting in a way, though I have this uncanny ability to usually channel out the commentary, because everybody seems to remember commentary quotes that I couldn't fathom, because I'm usually paying attention to what's going on in the ring, but for some reason they just kept panning back to him, and I'm just like, I don't care. I want to see my guys, Brother Nero and Broken Matt Hardy and Prince Devitt.
Do not call them that. They are not that.
Oh, come on. It's all because Meekmahan is preventing them from doing this, as well as that fucking owl over there.
I'm okay.
Sidebar,
I'm okay
Steve,
with that.
You gotta know. Kristen and Spaz have a bet that if the Hardys become broken within this next year, or 2 years, by
Within 2 years since they
within 2 years since they
or-
debut. If they become broken, she must buy all Nikki Bella merch and dress for Halloween, or just dress in it and post on.
I did not say that. I said I would buy Nikki Bella merch and wear it as a thing on my Instagram.
Correct. Instagram and Twitter.
No. You gotta like renege that bet and make it for Halloween. Because if that happens, I will personally fly over to wherever she lives, and I'll be Daniel Bryan and make fun of her throughout the whole time. No. Wait a minute. You know what? I can't do that because that's the wrong Bella twin that he's married.
Correct.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll be
John Cena.
I'll be John Cena, and every time she tries to pitch a hissy fit that she's got to wear the costume, I'll just look at her and be like, "This is a violation of John Cena's house rules." I
hate you so much, Monoxide. I hate you so much right now.
Hey.
It's not gonna happen. Broken Hardys are not gonna be a thing.
Come on. That gimmick.
Hey,
so
he didn't
great.
even mention. Well, no, because my part of the bet didn't happen because I didn't think they were gonna fucking debut at all.
You gotta remember this, okay? I rewatched the clip because when I was there live, it was fucking awesome, and I wanted to relive the moment. When the Hardys came out, literally Michael Cole said, "Things are about to be broken," and Matt even does the whole Adolf Hitler delete salute. So
they are not the Broken Hardys.
They will become the Broken Hardys.
I have faith.
Never gonna happen.
WWE sees a paycheck. They don't care if they're gonna write a couple zeros on a piece of paper for Anthem.
I'll do you one better. They'll bring back Hornswoggle, and we will have a match with King Maxwell and Hornswoggle.
Yes.
And King Maxwell's gonna be in the ring with Elias Sampson. He's gonna play the piano. He's gonna hit the piano, and you're gonna hear Matt Hardy in the background going, "Aah!" It'll be awesome.
I'm just saying, I'm really good at predicting these things. I still owe Guapo
it's gonna happen.
a chop
Sooner or later it will happen.
Because Kevin Owens has yet to do a pile driver.
Package pile driver.
Whatever.
All right, that
He's
ain't
yet
gonna
to do
happen.
any version of it.
You never know.
I'm gonna side with Chris on that one. He ain't gonna do that shit.
I'm just saying, his signature move without changing anything in the game is a package pile driver. Just saying.
Yeah, the game isn't going to give somebody brain damage.
You never know. It could.
What was next?
Also, small side note, going back to the match, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think, as much as I love Finn Balor with all my heart, I think he needs a new finisher. I do not like the coup de grace. I've never really liked it. It looks like sloppy.
I do agree he needs something else, but coup de grace was something that he said, okay, I could do this because whenever Triple H is at, whenever he was in NXT, Triple H told him, okay, you need a finisher, but you have to think about this. It needs to be a finisher that you can do on everyone from Rey Mysterio to Big Show. And coup de grace is something he could do on everyone from Rey Mysterio to Big Show. That's how he breaks it down to every wrestler.
I have no opinion of it. None.
That's just me.
Because you like it.
I guess. I don't hate it, don't love it.
That's his way of being indifferent towards it. If he has nothing to say about it, he literally has nothing to say about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alrighty then. Moving on.
Next we had Goldust doing a promo, and then it led to Goldust versus R-Truth.
Wasn't actually a match, but it happened.
Does anyone care about this feud?
I'll just say that every time I watch a Goldust promo, I have to remind myself it's not 1996. It actually is 2017. To be perfectly fair, even 20 years later, Goldust still looks great for his age and still moves great. I will
DDP yoga.
Yeah, that definitely has a role in it. I will totally grant Goldust that. But he's not doing anything different than he did 20 years ago, except he don't have the wig, the robe, Marlena. And on top of it, he's doing the... when he first came in, he was not a gay guy. He was just a guy that used gay tactics to get into the mind of his opponents. Then they just said, fuck it, you're going to be gay, straight out. He's doing that part. Okay, fuck it. I don't care.
It's Goldust. It's... It's a thing. I'm happy they're giving him something to do right now. However, in the back of my mind, I'm wishing the American Nightmare was on my screen.
Oh, Stardust. I can't call him after that great performance where he was wearing a star on his face and he would scream. No, he's Stardust to me.
Honestly, I don't mind because I actually like the Stardust gimmick, but the stuff he's doing in Japan right now is awesome too.
Besides, the Stardust gimmick is what got us Stephen Amell wrestling at WrestleMania, which, granted, celebrities wrestling is usually just a whatever thing, and they actually earned, it wasn't WrestleMania, it was SummerSlam. SummerSlam?
Was that 2
Yeah,
years
SummerSlam.
ago? That was 2 years
And
ago.
he gets in the gets in the ring, and I'm like, holy shit, Stephen Amell actually maybe knows how to wrestle a little bit.
What did
You can tell he actually worked on it.
Yeah.
He didn't just
He
get in the
shit.
ring.
Let's just say he gave a shit.
We had a Paul Heyman promo where Joe comes out and, intimidates him, says he's going to put the Cohina clutch on Brock Lesnar. We can get to that when we do the Brock Lesnar segment, if you guys would like.
Yeah.
Sure.
The only thing is you pronounce his name wrong. You said Paul Heyman. It's Paul Heyman.
That's true. It is Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman!
I
thought it was
want to...
Paulie dangerously.
I want to, the reason why I moved past this one quickly is because I want to get to the part that clearly we all want to talk about, which is the Miz TV segment.
I don't want to, but I'm going to.
With who the fuck are these people? I don't watch basketball, so that's like the one sport I don't really keep up with. What the fuck was... I literally have in my notes, I have NBA draftee, whoever his name is, something Ball.
Oh, Lonzo Ball.
Why? What? And what the fuck is this? Thank God for Dean Ambrose.
I mean, I'll save my rant for last because I got a lot to say about this.
What? What? He was... I think it was the dad. The dad was like talking over the Miz and like running around, and like when Dean comes out, he's like talking over Dean on the mic. It's like, why did nobody shut his mic off? Like, this was a train wreck on TV. It was bad on a level of celebrity badness, because there's a lot of celebrity badness on Raw. Let's just be completely honest. Yeah. It was like, I can't think of any celebrity thing worse than this. Except when maybe they invited Jewel and her race car husband that nobody gave a shit about.
Maybe Al Sharpton?
Yes, Al Sharpton was pretty bad too.
But I know read Jericho's book.
This was awful. And, I don't know, did anybody else catch that one of his kids essentially said the N-word on a live WWE
I caught it
stream?
later.
I thought that was him.
No.
Did he say it?
It was the youngest one. It was the youngest one. LaMelo.
It was the one...
Like the 15-year-old?
Yeah, it was the youngest one. I watched it. You can see him taking the mic away from his mouth after he said it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I mean, I don't know what you guys have to think of it, but I do have a little bit of a rant here.
You go. I'm giving you free range just because it's the stupidity level that we got and the IQ level that we dropped while watching that segment is too damn high.
All right. Here's what I got to say. All right.
10 years.
This is what bothers me about WWE. It's not that I don't care. It's not that I have anything against them bringing celebrities. I completely get it. But remember a few years back when they did that celebrity guest host every week? Every single time you had a celebrity guest host, you had a few charms here and there, such as Bob Barker, Freddie Prinze Jr., hell, even Mark Cuban was pretty good. But you mostly had duds. And why? Because these are just a bunch of guys in there for a quick paycheck. Nothing, I don't hold it against them for that. But like a Jeremy Piven who goes out there and says, you are banned from the Summerfest, and John Cena has to cut in and say, oh, no, you mean the SummerSlam. Oh, SummerSlam. Okay, cool. Then you've got guys like Al Sharpton who don't want to be there. Bob Barker was pretty good. But mostly the fans of the sport are the ones that did well. Now, you guys don't know. Oh, well, Kristen didn't know who these guys were, but I did my research. LeVar Ball is, let's just say, a loose cannon. The guy is completely out of whack. He's one of those guys that's living in the prime time of his kids. He's trying to vicariously live the life through his kids because they're the ones that are going to be more successful than him. So, you've got one guy who's unpredictable and is basically raising his kids to be just as unpredictable as him, and for some odd reason, nobody seemed to go over these guys. Hey, this is a performance. This isn't just wrestlers that you're performing with that you can just talk over. You actually have to work with these guys, because if you don't, then it's going to look like shit, which is something they don't tend to do. And on top of that, what pisses me off the most when they bring in these celebrities is that they bring them in to make their own guys look like idiots. Now, I gotta give Miz all the credit in the world. He tried so damn hard to put this fucking thing back on track, and he just couldn't, because LeVar is completely out of whack. Now, if they're mad that their young son, this 15-year-old kid who obviously wasn't informed beforehand that you can't be saying the N-word on television...
Live television
on that, and you have nobody to blame but yourselves, because what was his purpose of being there? I could see Lonzo. He's now part of the Lakers. They were in L.A. Perfect, fine, great, okay, get a fucking cheap pop. What was the purpose of the 15-year-old kid being there? Especially since he looks like a goddamn spoiled brat who probably was born with a fucking silver spoon shoved in his mouth the second he was queefed out. But the point is that you bring these people on thinking that you're going to get some sort of buzz, which you do for a short term. Who's going to give a shit a week later? Nobody. So I don't get it. This was a train wreck because you guys didn't bother to fucking explain to these people, work with our guys here. Try and perform with them. Learn from Bob Barker, who performed with Jericho, and it was great. Or Mark Cuban, who took a table spot. Hell, we'll go as even recent as Machine Gun Kelly getting powerbombed by Kevin Owens. These are guys that allowed the other guy to work with them. These guys... Jon Stewart.
Stephen
Amell. Or hell, even years ago, Lawrence Taylor. Mike Tyson. Mr. T. But when you've got a LeVar Bell who's clearly in business for himself, and this is just beneath him, then you get this. And now, that's why it's considered one of the worst, because these guys were in for themselves, and nobody fucking cared to tell them. And one more thing before I end it. If you did tell them it was a performance art and they went into the business for themselves, you should have known that prior, that you know what you're dealing with. Loose cannons. 3 of them. Loose cannons. And I don't even begrudge the kids because they're the ones being raised by this lunatic. Anyways.
Well, and I think the main kid who actually got drafted recently, he barely spoke. It was the dad and the other son that were took over.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, every time the Miz tried to talk, they talked over him, not allowing him to speak. Again, it's a performance. You can get your little rebuttals in. I'm sure that was worked out. But you gotta let the Miz get the heat first.
Well, and then they even talked over Dean Ambrose, who was supposed to be, if I remember correctly, the whole segment was supposed to be they were going to announce that they were doing some sort of partnership with his favorite WWE superstar, which, the Miz thought it was him, and it was going to end up being Dean Ambrose. And that's when Dean Ambrose comes out with the shirt and everything. But they didn't even, let Dean Ambrose talk. So it's like Dean Ambrose came out and was insignificant during the whole segment.
Well, funny thing you mentioned that. This is, again, strictly rumor. Apparently, Dean Ambrose wasn't even supposed to come out as quick as he did. Originally, they were going to do a complete segment. Dean Ambrose then would come out, do the whole, I'm pimping out this company. And the guys, the 3 balls, were supposed to be sitting ringside in support of Dean Ambrose. And what was it? It was a tag match. Oh no, it was a 3-man tag.
Yes, it was a tag match. It was Miz and his Miztourage, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel versus Dean Ambrose, Rhino, and Slater.
Yeah. So as I was saying, actually, not to delve off topic here, but just real quick. Remember when I used to say Primo has no job?
I think you still say that.
Yes. I think the Heath Slater gimmick should have gone to Primo. The I need this job, I got kids. It should have went to Primo. I'm just saying. Anyways.
It works better with Heath Slater, though.
Well, he performs better, but I just think theoretically with how useless Primo has gotten over the years. Anyways, not to delve off topic. But the Balls were supposed to be ringside in support, and I guess they were going to do like a run-in or whatever. But they actually were so pissed at how bad that segment went. They got their asses out of there. Like, pronto!
That's the smartest thing they could have done.
Oh, God. That was the smartest thing they could have done as far as dumb shit they've done. So, I didn't really care about the match.
Like I said, there's a match afterwards. The Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, Miztourage thing, I think was the best thing they could have done with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, who haven't been doing shit for however long.
For shame.
They've been just working house shows, that's about it.
That Bo Dallas gimmick was awesome, and Jesus.
Ruined it.
Dude, I will never forget when Bo Dallas beat, what was it, El Torito, and he starts running around the ring like he accomplished something, and then he bumps into El Torito, not even noticing him. That was great.
Yeah.
I'll never forget.
Well, and how many times have they tried to reboot Curtis Axel? Curtis Axel's career died when he came out as a Paul Heyman guy and immediately got pedigreed. Within a minute and a half of being announced as the next Paul Heyman guy.
I don't remember him being pedigreed. I remember him being bitch slapped and he fell on the ground and didn't do anything.
Oh, was that it? Did he get bitch slapped?
Yeah,
I thought
what
he got
happened?
pedigreed.
Yeah, he came out. This is what confused me. He came out as Curtis Axel, had a remix of his father's theme, and his name is both his father and grandfather's name mixed together. And Paul Heyman said, or he said, I'm not going to try and live in my father and grandfather's shadow. And it was like, okay, but you're going to rock their name and their theme music, whatever. Triple H came out, they were talking, Curtis Axel cuts in, Triple H just bitch slaps him, he falls to the ground, doesn't even retaliate. Then they had a match later that night, and that was when Triple H apparently was like spazzing out. I want to say this was the night after Extreme Rules when he lost to Brock in a cage match.
That was the end of Curtis Axel's career.
Oh,
was
yeah.
that slap. But anyways.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had anything else anybody have to say about the Miz TV segment or the match?
I'm happy to see Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel do something again, but
yes.
I think the inevitable for Bo Dallas is going to be something with his brother, hence the beard. But then again, yeah, I don't know.
No nothing match. Who? I don't even remember. Oh, Miz won. Miz's team won. I mean,
yeah, Miz won.
As long this is my fear with the group, the Miztourage. I'm afraid they're gonna have legacy-itis, where basically it's gonna be the Miz and just two nobodies behind
mannequins, two mobile mannequins.
Exactly, that's what Legacy was. I mean, Legacy could have been something, but it was just Randy Orton and two guys.
I feel like all three-man teams that have like a big star in the middle, like a Miz or a Randy Orton, have like a big known guy in the middle and then two lesser known guys, are always going to suffer from a little bit of legacy-itis because one guy is usually going to talk more than the other two.
It's a shame because you see groups like Evolution where
the Shield did it well. I mean, Roman didn't talk all that much, but he didn't need to.
Well, no, I to be honest, when the group started, the Shield, it was more like Dean Ambrose was the talker, and Rollins was the worker, and Reigns was the powerhouse. But, like you said, it's usually, if it's a big star, all of them were new. They were all new guys when they came on. So, Evolution maybe, but that's 4.
Yeah.
It's 4 guys, but whatever.
But, next we go on to, Enzo and Cass's segment where they, brought them both out. Enzo tried to, did the whole "you're my brother" thing. I'm going to forgive you for this. We're going to move past this because we can't break up until we win the tag title kind of thing. And I have to say, that after they like hugged and they're doing the thing and they do the thing in the ring, one word spell out soft, whatever, they go to leave and I'm like, oh man, maybe I guess WWE thinks they made a mistake by breaking them up before giving them the tag titles, and they let it last long enough that I was like, oh okay, this is a thing, and then he fucking clotheslines Enzo and just fucking destroys him, and I'm like, God, it's like the Mark Henry bullshit all over again. I say bullshit. It was fucking great. It was fucking great. That time when Mark Henry was gonna like retire, and we all thought, oh no, this is it, and they fucking just destroys John Cena. Same shit. It was awesome. It was awesome.
I still am disappointed they did not go with my idea. I think my idea was genius. Cass turns on Enzo because he's upset that he realized after all this time he was misspelling soft to the audience. Enzo did not, like, he kept encouraging him to spell it wrong. And then Cass blames the fans because they kept egging him on to spell it wrong. And he's so upset that he failed at spelling that he's now going to destroy everybody. In fact, his gimmick should be, if anybody has ever read the book The Shining, there's a character in, well, let me try the movie because the guy who did the role is the same guy who voiced Patrick Starr. He's one of the mentally challenged guys. I don't even remember the character's name. But every time he would say a word and spell it M-O-O-N. That spelled whatever. That should be Cass. He should spell everything M-O-O-N, and then they look at him like, that's not how you spell so-and-so, and he just gets so pissed off and just beats up everybody. I think it would be awesome. I don't know.
Guapo.
As a person who owns almost every single Enzo and Cass shirt, I feel slightly disappointed I invested my money so much.
I like the tweet that the Pop Vinyl Twitter did. Like, right after they broke up, they're like, get your Enzo and Cass Pop Vinyl figures in stores near you soon?
Question mark?
Question mark? I mean, you know what? I feel bad for anybody that bought a Y2AJ shirt only for like weeks.
I don't feel bad. I do not feel bad for anybody who bought that because they knew what was happening with that.
But it's like, wow, that's like a novelty item right there. It's like having a core shirt. Like, barely any of those made it out of the WWE shop warehouse.
But no, I'm happy that they're kind of splitting up because it gives both of them a chance to go for singles titles and have feuds with other people other than tag. I mean, shit, they haven't had a tag team title belt yet being in the company. They didn't get one in NXT, and they haven't gotten one yet on main roster. So.
They're a lot like Primetime. They're the most popular tag team to never win a tag title.
To be fair, did they really need it?
I feel like we could have deserved them winning the title one time. Like, did they need fucking like a New Day epic reign of the tag titles? No, but I feel like we all kind of wanted them to have their moment of them being the tag champs.
Exactly.
But, you know,
I mean, those two being tag champs would have cemented them two as a tag team together, and then they could have did this breakup, which I would have been perfectly fine with. But not allowing them to have the tag team belt at least once, it kind of disappoints me. But then again, I do see down the road they'll probably end up back together being a tag team.
I guess, but there was another team that didn't win the tag titles, but they are significant for a reason because one of them became a huge star out of it. The Rockers. They never. Technically.
Yeah, and look what happened to one of them.
So are you trying to say Cass is going to be Marty Jannetty?
Wait, Cass being Marty Jannetty?
Well, clearly Enzo's the better talker. I mean, Cass is a lot better than he was.
I would argue that Cass was never bad on the mic. He was always solid. Maybe not as good as his Enzo counterpart, or as Chris Jericho calls him, Esno. But the guy, I thought, was always a decent talker, at least.
I think he's gotten a lot better. When Enzo got hurt when he first came to Raw, and Enzo kind of had to go solo for a little bit.
Cass had to go solo.
He was, yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. When Enzo got hurt and Cass kind of had to go solo for a little while, he was, you could tell he was real shaky on the mic at that point. But I think that time by himself really helped him to gain better mic skills, and I think he's a lot better now. This promo and the one last week where he told Cass he was the reason he was holding him back. These were great promos from Cass, and I'm actually semi-excited about this feud. What I'm afraid of is Cass is going to be. Do you guys remember when what's his name? Shit. He was Seth Rollins' bodyguard here for a little bit, and
Double J Security, Johnny Nitro, and
no, the other one.
Joey Mercury.
Not Joey Mercury.
Was Johnny Nitro then?
Yes, that was one. The other one.
Jamie Noble.
Jamie Noble, yes. Jamie Noble, before he retired, before Sheamus retired him, his whole kind of shtick near the end of his career was that he had this he'd put his foot in his mouth all the time. He would say something to a general manager that was like he didn't like, it was a stupid thing to say, and they end up in these matches where he got the shit kicked out of him. That's going to be Enzo in a solo career. He's going to say stupid shit, and then he's going to get beaten up, which they already sort of started whenever Enzo and Cass had their feud with Rusev and whoever, and he shows up with Lana naked. Like, he just does stupid shit, and it gets him into trouble. That's his whole shtick, and it's going to be his whole shtick. And it's going to grow stale.
Probably, and he's going to probably be relegated to 205 Live.
Okay, if you put the Cruiserweight title on him, I'll be okay with that.
That would be the best case scenario for him at this point, is if they just put him with the Cruiserweights.
I've already got.
Otherwise, he's gonna be Jamie Noble. He's gonna be Hornswoggle. He's just gonna be a little guy that gets himself in trouble all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, Cass needs a new entrance theme if they're not gonna do.
I'm sure they'll give him one. If anything, they'll give him Blue Pants as an old theme. Da 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 da.
That'd be awesome. Or
anybody that have anything else to say about this segment?
You're soft and sloppy. They call me Poppy. I'm running a Benz, you're running around in a beat-up jalopy. Actually, on a personal note, I asked my girlfriend, who's Italian herself, and I asked her, do you people talk like that all the time? And she's like, no, that's only the Staten Island area, so. Anyways.
Okay. I'll be right back, guys, okay?
Okay. Seth Rollins versus Kurt Hawkins. This was basically just a giant, promo for Seth Rollins, and then Bray Wyatt came in and cut a promo at the end. I wrote down that I felt like this is the exact same feud that Wyatt had with Ambrose on SmackDown, which is that I'm going to save you from yourself. I'm going to show you who you really are, kind of thing.
I think this is the same feud that Bray Wyatt's had almost with everybody. He comes in, cuts a cryptic promo. I'm the eater of worlds! Follow the buzzers! Dip! And then he gets beat.
I want to love the Bray Wyatt gimmick. I really do, because I think it's interesting and I think it's neat, but it's just not believable anymore. It's just, they want to give him this Undertaker mystique to him, but he loses all the time, so nobody cares.
Well, not only that, but they had to overcomplicate the gimmick. In the beginning, he was just a backwoods cult leader. He just had a cult following that followed him, and he cut these cryptic promos. Now he's like a fucking magician where he can appear on the Titantron, appear on the table, appear in the audience at fucking random. It's like I say, it's shades of the Undertaker gimmick. And then if you introduce the Undertaker gimmick in this day and age, it's a flop. The only reason the Undertaker gimmick still works is because it had that mystique back then, and people buy it. People are not buying the mysterious, the magic shit. I think they could if you just let him win. Hey, if he would at least win, I think people would buy Bray Wyatt. But he never wins.
I want to buy Bray Wyatt. I think like I said, I think the gimmick is interesting, but he never wins. Why the fuck should I be scared that he's going to destroy Seth Rollins when he hadn't really destroyed anybody?
Oh, God. I was there for that WrestleMania match. I was like, okay, I knew Bray Wyatt was not winning. But if you look at the match layout, they had maggots in the ring. They had fucking bees flying in the ring. This guy was literally doing shit in the ring that not even The Undertaker did. And he still lost. What does that tell you? It tells you, don't psych out your opponent. It's the loser's way.
Well, I think the easiest way they could have helped Bray Wyatt is if, fine, you didn't want him to break The Undertaker's streak. I get it, whatever. Have him beat The Undertaker at some point. Doesn't even have to be at WrestleMania. If you'd had him beat The Undertaker, then he's believable.
Or not.
I would have said Bray Wyatt should have been the one to end the streak, not Brock. I mean, I understand why they went with Brock, but if you really want to add the mystique to Bray Wyatt, he should have been the one to end the streak.
I agree, but if you weren't going to do it, just have him beat, at the very least, just have him beat The Undertaker.
Yeah.
But nobody cares, because he doesn't win. So, he does
Nobody
great promos.
cares.
He does great promos, but it's the same feud with every single person.
Mm-hmm.
The best version of the feud was when he did it with John Cena.
And I don't even want to get into that. That was retarded, how they had him lose.
It was retarded how they had him lose, but the gimmick, the feud up to that point worked with John Cena. Especially, like, fucking with the little kids in, like, the creepy fucking masks. Mm-hmm. And, like, it fucking worked. If he had just beaten John Cena, I think he would have been more legitimate. But he didn't. They're not going to. They're not going to buy into the gimmick, so this is what we have.
Oh, of course. Anyways, what else happened on this show?
We had the Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman segment where Samoa Joe came out, put the Cohina clutch on Brock Lesnar. I have a question. Is Joe heel in this feud?
Yeah, theoretically he is, because
he's attacking Brock Lesnar's advocate who, like, he's attacking people that aren't wrestlers. A very heel thing. He's attacking people from behind, backstage. He's the heel, right? If I've seen anything about wrestling in the however many years I've been watching, he's the heel.
Yeah, I would assume he is. Why? What would give you the indication they're making him the babyface?
I don't know. Brock Lesnar's almost always been the monster heel.
Not always.
But people want Joe to win. So it's weird.
I think, okay, here's what I think. Well, first off, Brock was not always heel. He was face for a period in 2015 when he was feuding with Seth Rollins. But I think the problem is because they don't want another part-timer disappearing with the belt. Because it's like, what's the point of being on Raw if the main prize, the thing that you're fighting for, isn't even there?
Well, yes, I've always disagreed with Brock Lesnar being champion for long periods of time, because then that's long periods of time that you don't have your main champion. That's the same thing that happened with The Rock. Oh, but it's just weird. It's just weird that I guess Joe's always been the heel. He's been heel since he debuted on Raw.
Yep. But yeah, so. And I think it's just because we're waiting for the inevitable, the coronation of Roman Reigns to beat Brock. And I think if Joe beats Brock, at least it kind of leans towards more, okay, maybe they're not going to... I'll even argue this. I mean, maybe they're still trying to make Roman the guy, but it seems like they're putting more of their eggs in Seth Rollins' basket.
Oh, yeah, he's on the cover. He's the face right now. He's on the cover of the video game. Mm-hmm. He's going to all the meet and greets. Like, he's doing the John Cena shtick.
Which is good, because I have I was going to say Seth Rollins was the modern-day Shawn Michaels, but I would probably give that title to AJ Styles, because AJ, just anybody he works with, he's going to have a great match. Like, you have to suck so bad to have a bad match with AJ Styles, so. But yeah, Seth Rollins, I think, is the guy. What were we Okay, Joe. Is it just me?
I love how you're like, wait, what were... Oh, yeah.
Yes. Joe, when he choked out Brock Lesnar looked like a total albino. I'm just saying. He really did. He looked so albino that I just... Why does Brock get so red on command? Like, he is the only guy I know that could just stand there and forcibly turn himself red without doing anything. Maybe it's just a lot of work since apparently he's so damn lazy now in the ring. Maybe it's just so much work just to stand in that one spot. I don't know.
No, you're mistaken. You're thinking of Goldberg.
Oh, Goldberg. Hey, well, I am a Goldberg hater as much as the next guy. But he had an awesome match at WrestleMania. That shit with Brock was awesome. It was exactly what it needed to be. 5 minutes and just a train wreck. That was great. It was awesome. I mean, it was better than fucking... I said they shouldn't have main evented. After watching WrestleMania live, that should have main evented. But then again, Undertaker was retiring, so that's got to main event anything. Fuck.
Senor Guapo, thoughts on Brock Lesnar, Joe? Oh, I thought he came back. He might not be back yet.
I think he got deported. I don't know. I think Donald Trump is finally on that bench.
He finally got Guapo. No.
We're going to make our country great again. We're going to have more police and less Latinos running around. Okay? Anyways. Right.
Oh, God. I hope he re-listens and hears this shit now.
Oh, that ain't right. That was bad of me. Now I'm going to have...
so next we had Neville versus... I spelled that guy's name wrong, so I have no idea what his name is. Luchador with a mask.
Oh, was that Lindsay Dorado or...
Yes, that's it. I spelled it wrong.
Lindsay Dorado.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, he just came back.
You escaped Donald Trump. You weren't deported.
Yes.
What?
Donald Trump came in here and said, "We're going to make our country
We had a side. You were gone. We had a side joke that you'd been deported by Donald Trump.
Yeah, he built a wall.
I'm an American citizen.
That's what they all say. That's what they all say.
I own a ladder. Thank you.
Look, you know something, I know nothing. No.
You know what the greatest weakness to a 10-foot wall is? An 11-foot ladder.
That ain't right.
Also the shovel I just bought.
That's the one that El Chapo probably used.
All right. So, Neville, Tozawa was at ringside in like a VIP section. I guess they've added him to the Titus brand, which, it's interesting. And it gives somebody to talk for him if that's his weakness.
The only people that have benefited from being in the Cruiserweight division is Neville. Like, Neville's the only guy that went from doing nothing prior. Then when he got slinged in the Cruiserweight division, he actually started doing shit. All right, let me take it back. Obviously, you just mentioned his name, Akira Tozawa. Now he's in a storyline with Titus O'Neil. If they're using Titus as a way to try to help the Cruiserweight division, then more power to them, because Titus does have a presence. This Cruiserweight division is garbage. And it's garbage for a multitude of reasons. This is just more of me nitpicking more than anything. Why do they need to have purple ropes when these guys are wrestling? Like, is there really a reason they need to fucking tape the ropes with purple?
Yes, to prove everybody this is the Cruiserweight division.
Oh, yeah, because we don't have main eventers wrestling like the Cruiserweights a la Seth Rollins, AJ Styles. That's why. Okay. That was my other complaint. Like, now, wrestling in WWE has changed so much that the main eventers are wrestling like the Cruiserweights, so it's no longer unique. On top of that, your best storyline in the Cruiserweight division is involving Cedric Alexander, Noam Dar, and Alicia Fox. That's the best you could come up with. Oh, no wonder nobody gives a shit. No fucking wonder.
I'm not gonna lie, I have not watched one episode of 205 Live.
Neither have I.
Well, it's just kind of a glorified superstars, or
Damn, that's really hitting below the belt, calling superstars their main event.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like everybody for years has been talking about that we needed a cruiserweight division, and now we've done it, and they've put it on the most boring show where they give it one match and then tell you, hey, go watch the rest of it on 205 Live.
And that's the thing. That's what I don't get. Why is... I understand you're getting it on both days, because throwing it on Raw, you have the Raws are exclusive. The cruiserweights are exclusive to Raw. 205 Live's on Tuesday, immediately following SmackDown.
That's
because it's recorded at SmackDown.
That's what also doesn't ring right with me. Why are you having the show at the end of SmackDown? Why isn't it before SmackDown?
Exactly. Like, look, I understand. Like, yeah, put it before SmackDown. That would be cool too. But film it all Monday. Film it after the dark segment for Raw, or film it for after Raw and then do a dark segment like they normally do. But why double down on your travel for these guys if they're exclusive to Raw?
Let's be honest. It's only doubling the travel for Neville and maybe like two other people, because those are the only cruiserweights they feature on a regular basis.
Austin Aries, yes.
Yes, and Austin Aries.
And soon to be Enzo Amore.
Oh yeah, for sure. He probably
also, I would just like to add that isn't Titus O'Neil essentially doing the exact same gimmick as what was his name? Something Washington.
Abraham Washington.
Say Bob Backlund.
Abraham Washington. Well, you could do Bob Backlund too. I don't, because that's beyond when I was watching.
Oh,
I remember Abraham Washington.
Recently with what's his name?
Darren Young.
Oh yes,
Darren
that's right.
Young.
Oh, make Darren Young great again. That was an amazing gimmick. They should have brought that back. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Then they were like, oh shit, he's actually gonna win. This is too real.
Shit's getting real.
I just don't get why they didn't go with my idea, because when Darren Young debuted, he won the Royal Rumble accidentally. Like, he was in there with two other guys, and the two guys eliminated themselves, so he happened to win. That should have been his gimmick. Like, he wins on accident. Like, somebody gets counted out by mistake, and every time he has to have a shock look and then smile after he wins. And Bob Backlund has to lose his shit in happiness knowing that his guy just won in the dumbest way possible. I don't get why they don't go with my ideas. I think these would be money ideas. I need a job.
That actually would be a great gimmick for somebody to keep winning shit on accident.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Listen, whoever works there, get me a job. I came up with that. I came up with Primo should have had Heath Slater's job and the soft idea. Come on. I can help you guys out. The ratings will go through the roof.
What's the next match?
Last match of the night was the women's gauntlet match. First ever women's gauntlet match to name number one contender. I thought the match was okay until the ending. No, I thought the match was all right until the ending. I thought the ending was really good, but that's because I'm someone that's wanted to see Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Like, I've been waiting for these promos.
You know, the fact we're still talking about Raw.
Yes, we are still talking about Raw, sadly enough. I'll just go through the match. I'll just go through the match really quickly. It starts out with Bayley and Nia. Nia beats Bayley. Then Mickie James comes out. Nia beat Mickie James and Dana Brooke very quickly. And Emma very quickly. And then the longest match she had was with Sasha Banks. They've been having a little sort of feud for a while now since Nia debuted on Raw. I feel like they essentially took a month's worth of squash matches for Nia and shoved them into one gauntlet match until she got to Sasha. And my last note is that Spaz and I talk about that our biggest problem with Nia is not actually Nia Jax, is that they give her a fat chick moveset she wasn't really emphasized as being strong. She's emphasized in being big. Like, she had a lot of moves where she sits on people or runs into them in the corner or anything. I feel like based on her moveset in that match, that they're slowly changing it. She had a lot more power slams. She had a lot more like lariats and clotheslines. I think Naya's improving. I almost like her now.
But you don't.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
I have a problem with the ending, only because I do feel, seeing as Naya's supposed to be unique, she's obviously bigger than most of the ladies there. And sort of like an Awesome Kong or Karma when they had her, I have this belief that if you've got a big woman like her, that's not to knock her, but she's a relatively larger woman than the rest. If you're gonna have a woman like that, you need to protect her at all costs. And I'm not saying Sasha shouldn't have won. That's fine. But why did you have this woman who's like, this could be like a dominant female, tap out to the bank statement?
I think she should have. I think she should have passed out.
Passed out, lost by pinfall, lost by count out, whatever. Even pinfall.
I think they were going with the thing that it's hard to essentially beat her down. Like, doing it tricky like that is the only way to beat her, because you can't physically fight her. And they showed that a lot in the match when Sasha's like trying to hit her or trying to like start any sort of offense. She would be immediately shut down. So really her only alternative was to do a submission, because you couldn't, do what Sasha Banks does and, bounce off the ropes and hit her with a forearm. It did like nothing.
I mean, I'm still of the belief that if you're a big person like that, and especially since she's only been there for a year on the main roster, you got to do everything you can to make sure, like you would with Undertaker, you wouldn't have them quit. Although Undertaker tapped out to Brock Lesnar. I'm old school like that. I want my monsters to be monsters. I didn't like it when I think Kane tapped out to Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 18. I didn't like it then either. Like, those are guys that you want to protect, because you protect them and it'll mean something when they lose. So, like in this case scenario, obviously from what it seems like they're teasing something between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax down the road. You want that monster mystique. If you ever want to turn her face, so for whatever reason, you have people believing in Nia to destroy Alexa, or if you want to do the switch, okay, now Alexa's the face, whatever. You have multiple opportunities there. I just don't like when they make the monsters tap out, personally. Even though she's not a monster, but...
like I said, I disagree. I feel like it showed that you couldn't physically beat her down, that you had to use something else. So I feel like it still gives her something, but just because, she's the most physically dominant one on the roster, women-wise. They're going to give Sasha Banks another chance. I want to see Sasha versus Alexa Bliss. I think the promos are going to be, like, amazing. I think it's going to be a great feud. I did feel like, I know they had to save time. They had like 30 minutes, a little more than 30 minutes for the entire segment, for the entire match. I don't like how quickly Mickey, Dana, and Emma went down.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it was a waste. I feel like you essentially gave those girls nothing, and it didn't help Nia look strong at all.
I mean, I'm not going to talk about the girls being destroyed, but mostly Alexa Bliss and Sasha. I mean, it should be alright stuff. I'm more of a Bliss fan, not really a Sasha fan at all.
Bliss all the way.
I do not like Sasha. I felt like her being a face has been absolutely horrendous as far as character goes.
I think her character leans itself better to being a heel, but she's not a terrible face.
To me, she is. I just can't get behind her. There's something about Sasha that doesn't click right with me. Maybe it's because this is a problem with me. Like, I always try to separate the performer and the person. I try not to allow the person to get in the way because I don't know you personally. I just want you to entertain me. I pay my money for you to entertain me. Just entertain me, and we'll be on good terms. But I've heard some stories about Sasha that are not pretty, and you can kind of see it with her, how she performs. Like, a lot of people have said some bad things about Sasha if you ever get, like, to a meet and greet. Don't know if they're true. I can only tell you from my experience, but it does seem to blend in with the performer as well, because people have said even at meet and greets she's not pleasant to be around. But I just don't care for Sasha at all. I'm hoping for Bliss for this one, because Bliss is that type of heel that will piss me the fuck off, and then just a second later I'll just turn around and be like, whoa, she got me. She's pretty good. Alexa Bliss is a fucking great character.
Oh, she's the greatest. She's the greatest heel in either women's division, hands down, right now. No questions asked.
But I'm loving. I gotta say, I'm loving Carmella right now too. Just saying.
I am, and she's doing well. We'll get to her when we get to SmackDown. Guapo, closing thoughts.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Guapo's dead.
Yes,
come again for Guapo?
Yeah, Donald Trump is gonna deport you again.
Say, mis amigos, I got some Dos Equis I'm drinking.
Oh, well, that's what you need to watch Raw.
No, that's more than what I need to watch Raw, because right now we're moving on to the better half of the segment, SmackDown! And now, SmackDown! There you go.
Yep, that's what we're doing.
Wow.
Yeah, my internet freaked out, guys.
That ain't right. Donald Trump filling the wall.
My internet freaked out.
I guess he figured you were from Mexico.
I guess it freaked out. Decided no.
She's the one who's close enough to it, so.
It's like the internet was like, you've talked about Raw for an hour and 15 minutes. That is enough.
Or did we not talk about the ball segment enough?
Or that. It could have been that too. I will start. Raw started off with a Daniel Bryan segment. Is essentially the same segment as last week, where he came out, talked about the interference in the women's Money in the Bank match, and how we were having another one tonight, and that he banned James Ellsworth from the arena so that he couldn't interfere. Is essentially the same segment he had last week and on Talking Smack combined.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
How do you
for it.
How do you give a guy like James Ellsworth a sweet chin music? I'm just
it's true. He doesn't have a chin. You cannot
give him one, but he can give you one.
Yeah, true that. He gave one to AJ Styles.
But then again, do you still call it sweet chin music, or do you call it no chin music?
No chin music. He is immune to the sweet chin music. If him and Shawn Michaels ever had a match, it would be like when two magnets of opposite polarities, Shawn Michaels' foot would just be pushed away.
What happens is Shawn Michaels would go for the sweet chin music. Instead of connecting, it's an invisible force on James Ellsworth's chin that just, it stops his foot and allows him to actually give Shawn Michaels the no chin music, which that will connect. And win the match.
We're geniuses. We should book this shit.
Book it.
I think this should happen. I mean, seriously, Raw would be so much more entertaining with our ideas. I think everybody thinks I'm joking. I think we should really go out and do this. This is going to be some entertaining shit.
The three of us, we're going to be the new creative on Raw. Shit's going to get better.
No, we need to be creative on everything other than NXT. NXT's fine.
We're gonna make Raw. We're gonna make Raw great again, guys.
That's right. I'll come out with a toupee.
Yes, I will.
I'll wear a toupee. I'll spray myself tan. I'll do the whole yelling at people. Make Raw great again.
I'll even wash my mask.
There you go. Well, hold on. I got. If I'm gonna play Donald Trump on Raw, I can't have you on Raw with a mask. I'm sorry. It's out of the question.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed on Raw anymore if you wear a mask.
Exactly. You'll be banned. Well, Del Rio's already gone. Kalisto's definitely gone. He's I'm gonna replay that segment with him and Braun Strowman where he throws him in the dumpster and we never see him again. Who the hell else is Spanish? Oh, Lindsay Dorado, gone. Get out of here. Goodbye.
The Colognes.
The Colognes were gone long ago. They were gone.
Wait, no, but they're Puerto Rican.
It's you know what?
No,
Donald Trump.
It's the same thing to him.
It's the same thing to him. We got to deport all these.
They're all brown.
What
Get
about
rid of them. They're all brown.
Guys on Spanish announce table?
Jinder Mahal, gone.
Oh yeah.
Clearly a terrorist.
Well, hold up. He is a Maharaja, so maybe he could be safe.
Well, no, but he could be, but I don't know that he could tell the difference.
This is damn true.
Oh, he could be rich. You're right. He could be rich because he's a Maharaja. So, he can stay then.
Yeah, if you got a lot of money, they'll protect you.
Why did we go this way? Okay.
We're going way too far down the rabbit hole in this one.
Yes, we're off the rails.
True.
First segment, already off the rails.
That's true.
What about Tozawa?
No, he's Asian. It's fine.
He's
yeah,
Asian.
Donald Trump will just think he works at a Chinese food restaurant. Or something. You know what? I am so gonna get so many comments that Steve's a racist and all that. I'm gonna have a group of social justice warriors outside my door right now picketing my fucking house. I'm done. I'm truly fucked.
By the way,
you don't know, guys. It's all a bit.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Suave said hello, by the way.
Hey, Suave.
Kristen said hi. I have my headphones in, so you can't hear.
Oh, okay. First match of the night, we had the Hype Bros returning against the Usos. If they won the match, then they would get a number one contendership opportunity. They did not, because clearly we're still going to do this New Day feud. I have to ask you guys a question, though. I don't know if it just does it where I am, or if it does it everywhere. Smackdown for you, they play like commercials during the match. Yep. Like they do double screen. They make the match small and then the commercials big. Yep. And it's like really fucking annoying to me.
I didn't mind I didn't mind it during the AJ Styles James Ellsworth match when Dean Ambrose was the referee, because Dean Ambrose, okay, I have a bias for Dean Ambrose. He's one of my favorite wrestlers there. So anything he does is going to entertain me. And so I was glad to see him doing funny-ass shit as the referee. So that I didn't mind. Other than that, I mean, personally, I'm not a fan of commercial breaks during matches. Because if it's a good match and a commercial happens, most notably with me, I lose interest fast. I have, like, ADD up the ass. Like, you want to know how bad my ADD is? I'm literally at the moment playing, like, 7 different games all at once. I play one game for like...
You want to know how bad his ADD is? He derailed the show, his own show, after the first segment of SmackDown.
But hey, you're all entertained, right? You're all sports entertained.
Yes.
That's
Are you not sports entertained?
Exactly. I'm doing something that Vince McMahon has failed to do for you people since the end of WCW, okay? I'm doing great.
He has sports entertained us.
Yes. I thought
that was Eric Bischoff.
Anyway.
Dude, on a side note, on another side tangent, that was the best part of Sheamus' gimmick. Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? Yes, I miss him saying that. I miss that shit. He needs to say it again. Oh. Anyways,
Hype Bros didn't win. The New Day comes out, essentially tells the Usos that they're cowards, that they deserve another shot. The Usos proceed to tell them why they shouldn't have a shot, and then give them a title shot.
What is day one-ish? I don't
know.
Because they're twins, and they've been together since day one.
Ish.
I don't know.
What's the ish? This is like the fucking booyaka. What the fuck is a booyaka? No one has explained this to me. Ray!
Booyaka 619.
Yeah, Ray, over wherever you are, Lucha Underground. What the fuck is a booyaka? I'm still not getting the answers to this. This is important information.
It's an inside thing. You wouldn't get it.
Oh, okay. You know what? It's another thing that Donald Trump's gonna pick.
I miss doing shows with Monoxide for this exact reason.
I'm still baffled that we still can't come up with an answer. I asked on Facebook.
I don't even know whose channel it's on. Maybe it was on my old one a long time ago. But side tangent again. Me and our friend Paul got Steve to watch Charmel versus whatever the fuck her name is.
Why would
the
you
Survivor
do that? You made me do that.
The worst women's match ever, just so we could record his reaction.
Hey, you're gonna have to call him up because we have a new match for them to watch.
Okay.
I think it was maybe one of the highest rated videos on my channel, aside from the one that me and Deidre named Pudding Match.
That ain't right.
Well, you have a new worst women's match, or worst match ever. Lana versus Naomi.
No, hold up. I got one worse than that, and it wasn't even in WWE. It was Rebel versus what's her name, or Ariel, but I forgot what she goes by now. In TNA, the one night only. That was a horrible match.
I have no idea. I haven't watched TNA since everybody turned heel for no reason.
Well, let me just put it to you this way. There was one part in the match where Rebel's pulling a submission on Ariel. I forget her name, I apologize. And she literally, I'm not even joking, she's screaming, "My badge! My badge!" And the referee's like, "What do you want me to do?" "My badge! My badge!" Like, okay. What are you trying to tell me?
Thank you for Monoxide for reminding me why I don't watch TNA.
Really quick, another side tangent. You screaming "my badge" while staring at the picture that you have on your display of DDP is great.
That is awesome. That was DDP during when he was a motivational speaker, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and by the way, my Skype name is Mr. Slapnuts. Makes it even better.
Yeah.
I don't guess anybody has anything else to say about New Day and Usos are going to get. They're going to go. They're going to have a title match at Battleground.
I'm actually going to stay topic. New Day used to be so fucking awesome. They used to be the greatest thing on Raw. And then they turn babyface. Does this company not know how to make an entertaining babyface these days? Like, okay,
no.
Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Heath Slater. I don't really care for Seth Rollins as a babyface.
I think Dean Ambrose is an entertaining babyface.
Cena.
Well, yeah, I'm forced to like John Cena, so that's the thing. I'm biased for Dean Ambrose. That's why I put his name in there. Anybody else?
Well, keep talking. I gotta go check on my puppy.
That's all right. Oh, Chris Jericho. No matter what he touches, he's all amazing.
But heel Jericho is best Jericho.
That is true.
No matter what.
Anybody who watched 2016 could watch Chris Jericho and be like, that's some of the greatest shit ever. And this is a guy who's been in the business nearly 30 years. Guys, 30 years and he's still a fresh act. But
the fact that he got a clipboard over is fucking great.
A clipboard, and I got to dress as him for Fan Access, WrestleMania, and Raw. That was great.
I'm not gonna lie. I bought the Drink It In Man shirt.
I do not. Oh yeah, I do have that one. I was thinking of the list one. That's the one my girlfriend has. But anyways, back to this New Day.
Okay. Yes, I'm back. I have another segment now.
Go ahead.
We had a Fashion Vice segment with Breezango and the Ascension, who haven't been doing anything since they left NXT the first time. Mm-hmm. But I thought this gimmick, this segment was. This gimmick is so stupid, and I love it.
Dude,
at the same time.
How could you not love the greatness that is Fandango? Oh no, let me reiterate. Fandango.
No. It's Fandango.
Go. And Tyler Breeze.
Oh, Tyler Breeze.
Yes, this gimmick is amazing. I just want to throw it back to like last week's. Last week when they had that Miami Vice vignette. And I don't remember which one, but one of them had one of those giant ass cell phones, and on it said "Property of Paul Paulie.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I think that was a great little slight nod to the older fans.
It's so stupid and so awesome at the same. They're even dressing like they're in Miami Vice now, and then they come up and one of them's like, "Wait until you see my like." Fandango does the thing, and then Tyler Breeze comes up and giving them like cheese and drinks and whatever, and then they both walk aside and they're like, "I think we were both good cops." No, we were both great cops.
Yeah.
This is basically if Starsky and Hutch met Zoolander, and it's great.
I mean, they parodied Law and Order. Did they parody Casablanca? And then they parodied Miami Vice.
Yeah.
This is some great shit. Now they need to parody Pulp Fiction. That has to happen. Like, literally, they have to show a segment in the background where it's like, oh, bam! And then they do like a big segment with a tag team sitting on the table looking for the briefcase. And Fandango has to be Jules. He has to have the afro. Okay? And Tyler Breeze has to be the one with the Royale with cheese. Okay? That's awesome. All right. You hear me? Anybody who's writing this, book this shit. You could thank me later. Send me some dividend checks. I'm okay.
Send it in Bitcoin.
Yes. Yeah. Give me about 100 Bitcoins, okay? It's not that much money, trust me.
It's like maybe $1.
It's like $1, yeah. They're like worth pennies.
It's actually exactly $1.
Yeah. But by that point, I'd have to change my gimmick to the $1 Million Man. I'll be from Rob Van Dam to the $1 Million Man.
I was about to say you'll be the $1 million Bitcoin Man.
Bitcoin Man, there you go, perfect.
Bitcoin Man.
The $1 million Bitcoin Man.
Yeah, there we go. I gotta try and do the Tid DiBiase laugh.
Dollar.
Yeah, and I'll throw bitcoins at people to attack them. Like that'll be my sneak attack.
You throw bitcoins at them, but you're throwing nothing at them because it's internet
he's throwing
currency.
Flash drives at him.
That ain't right.
He's throwing a handful of flash drives at somebody. That's how he's throwing bitcoins.
This is great shit. WWE, you better listen up. I'm telling you.
Off the rails again, but.
Anyways.
Next. Oh my God! I now remember why. I now remember why all those shows I would do with Steve were so fucking long.
Yeah, because I'm entertained.
It's coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me now.
I am sports entertained.
I am sports entertained. Next, the very short Naomi versus Lana for the women's title match.
All right,
again. Next match. Yeah, that's how fast it was.
You know what's funny? It's sort of topic. My girlfriend and I were watching Rocky IV over the weekend, and I just could not help during the fight when they kept panning to Ivan Drago's wife, just screaming out, "Crush!" And I every time I kept looking at his wife, I'm just thinking Lana the whole time. So I'm doing like, Rusev, Vladimir Putin, just saying stupid ass Lana quotes. It was great. Anyways, this was shit.
Yes, yep. Yes, it was. Since normally we do this podcast with Spaz, and now we're doing on Monoxide's channel. What are your thoughts on Naomi? I'm just curious because
as far as what?
As
a wrestler, character,
everything. As a wrestler, as a character, as a member, contributing member of the SmackDown Society.
Someone who breathes the air that you breathe.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that as he hates her.
Oh yes.
Very strong.
Oh yes, he hates it. I will have to show you his Twitter later.
Oh yes, it's true. Okay. It's true.
So here are my thoughts on Naomi. Let's see. She's supposed to be a raver, right? She goes out there, glow sticks.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't think it would, I did not think it would get as over as it has. I do not think Naomi's as bad as Spaz is making her out to be. I mean, she's not as bad as, let's say, I'm trying to think of somebody. Lana is, for the amount of time she's trained, she's not that embarrassing.
She's not that embarrassing.
Well,
She's not that terrible.
I mean, I'm just saying, after watching Eva Marie's NXT work in the beginning, I mean, this is kind of a step up. Whatchamacallit? So Naomi, she's okay.
Spaz Phoenix, and I quote, "Wow, Naomi must suck good dick."
Well, hold up. Let's just say, theoretically, she does. Let's just say that she swallows that shithole, alright? I'm just saying. Is that necessarily a knock on her, seeing as human biology would tell you that men usually like that shit? I'm just saying. Just saying. Is that a knock on her?
I'm looking up more. Like I said, I'm just curious. Spaz and I get into arguments about Naomi pretty much every podcast.
Oh. Are you burying the man?
I'm not burying him. I just want to know what. I just want. We've done Spaz's podcast for so long. I'm starting to think that I'm so out of touch with other wrestling fans that maybe Naomi wasn't good, and I'm just not seeing it.
Let me preface this to you, there, Steve. Me and Spaz did a 10 reasons or 5 reasons, I don't remember why, some amount of number of reasons why Naomi sucks. And we talked about literally Naomi for an hour. I maybe talked for 15 minutes of the hour, but still, we talked for about an hour.
Damn.
By the way, go to YouTube.com
go check out our friend Spaz Phoenix.
Alright, let me just say this, okay? I don't really hate wrestlers nowadays. I'm getting too fucking old to hate people nowadays, so it's really hard for me to hate anybody. But,
oh, you should wait till later in this show then, because I'm about to hate on someone.
But, okay, now I know where I was going with this. There's a guy that I know by the name of Chris Michaels. I think he's called Boston Fan on YouTube. I like the guy. He's cool people. I don't know him that well, but from the conversations I've had with him on Facebook, he's pretty cool. He has the same, venomous, vile hatred for Alexa Bliss. And
how? She's amazing.
I don't understand that.
He says that she's horrible on the mic, she's got a terrible theme song, she's a Harley Quinn ripoff. He says a lot of negative things about Alexa Bliss.
That's fighting words.
I mean, maybe this is
Guapo's gonna go find this guy.
Maybe this
I'm gonna
is
find
just
this
me.
guy. Send me his Twitter.
I've just come to a conclusion. I think it's because of the booty. They both have big booties, and they've got two men that despise the shit out of them. So it seems like the new trend is, if you hate a woman, it's because of her ass. Maybe. I don't know. It's a conspiracy.
Monoxide, 2017.
It's a really good, you're definitely taking the yarn off the pin and pinning it to another piece of yarn somewhere else on that board.
Exactly.
But
I'm putting my Jesse Ventura card here. Don't question me. I was there. So, anyways.
All right. Enough about Naomi. Enough about next. Aiden English was out in the ring singing for a little bit, and then Randy Orton essentially, told him to leave.
You know what?
Yes.
This kind of
not even RKO out of nowhere. He just told him to leave.
All right, leave.
And he fucking left.
He told him to leave. They showed a clip during commercial. He told him to leave. He was actually on his way out. And then Randy Orton just turned him around and RKO'd him. That's a heel move. The guy was leaving. He was doing as you asked him. Get the fuck out. Okay. Oh, by the way, bam! RKO. What the fuck?
Crowd pleaser.
That ain't right.
Essentially Randy Orton did his I want my rematch because, Jinder Mahal disrespected my family, which, by the way, I love that Shane pointed it out, but by the way, Randy Orton did this exact same gimmick with John Cena, except he was the heel and John Cena was the one I'm going to kick Randy Orton's ass because he disrespected my family bullshit.
Not just John Cena, Shane himself.
Wait, are you saying WWE Creative is recycling a storyline that they've already told?
Yeah, I know. Shocking.
Huh? No, I don't believe you for one second.
they announced that there was going to be a rematch, but Jinder Mahal got to pick the stipulation. He decided to do a Punjabi prison match, which I don't hate the Punjabi prison match, but it does to me sound like somebody who's like, you know what's crazier than a cage match? A double cage match. They'll just fucking put another cage.
Double cage match? A double cage match made out of bamboo.
Why didn't they just...
What?
If they were going to bring double cages, why not just have the kennel from hell brought back?
No.
That would be entertaining. I mean...
If anything, I would love Ring Wars again.
No, I'm just saying. Have untrained dogs, once again, take a shit around the ring.
War Games, that's it, yeah. Thank you.
No,
Thank you, Suave.
Have the dogs take a shit around the ring, because they're going to give their exact thoughts on this product, theoretically. And then Jinder Mahal, like I said, will win. And he'll be slayed by John Cena.
I just, I don't hate the Punjabi prison match. I just,
I don't care about it.
The fact that the last time we had a Punjabi prison match, it was with Undertaker versus the Great Khali.
Was it? I thought it was
I'm surprised I'm surprised nobody's shouting racist, because literally the only Punjabi prison matches have been with Indian guys, right? Am I wrong?
No.
All of them included Great Khali.
At least I'm pretty sure. No, the first one was supposed to be Undertaker Khali, but Khali had enzymes in his system, so he was kicked out, and they replaced him with Big Show.
Oh.
I thought there was only two, though. I thought it was...
Yeah, there was only two. I thought it was just...
All right, so...
Yeah, there was one, and then there was one with... there was another one with Batista. Batista and the Great Khali.
Yeah, that was the second one.
Because it was one of the first pay-per-views I ever saw.
Of course it was.
That's saying something. Of course it was.
You came in a very... Hold on, I just want to say something right now. Kristen, you came in a very horrible time.
I did, and I'm still here.
Dude, you started watching at the fallout of the Benoit tragedy. All right? Now,
I did. I started watching the Raw after the Great American Bash, where John Cena faced Bobby Lashley.
Well, to be fair, I started watching...
And the worst part is, I never learned to read.
Oh, gosh.
I started watching then.
I started watching during the reign of Diesel. All right,
nice.
Diesel. I got the reign of Kevin Nash. This is what Kevin Nash said, and I agree. Back in the time, you weren't a wrestler. You were an occupation. You were a plumber. You were a pig farmer. You were what did they have? A pirate. You were a hockey player.
Steve's a pirate.
Yeah, it was Carl Oulet or whatever the hell he was. Jean-Pierre Lafitte. You had Waylon Mercy. You had, who the fuck else? Duke the Dumpster Drozy. Just this plethora of gimmicks.
The Brooklyn Brawler.
Brooklyn Brawler was there for years, so. But, God.
Go ahead.
Blue Blood.
Anyways, anybody have anything else to say about Randy Orton's segment?
It's getting stale, just like the headlocks he performs.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was one of his better face promos, and Randy Orton's never really been outstanding at face promos, but Randy Orton's one of those people that's just better as a heel. That's just how it is, guys. Like, he's okay as a face, but he is just better as a heel, just like Jericho. Jericho's pretty good. Jericho's pretty good as a face. He's better as a heel.
The only time I enjoy Randy as a face is when he's going up against somebody who's a really good heel. Like when he had his just recent feud with Bray Wyatt. That was great to watch, because Bray's a great heel.
Yeah, but the matches were so bad. Those matches were... I was just saying earlier, that fucking WrestleMania match was terrible.
Oh, I agree, but I can't blame either one of the guys for that, because that was bad. That was terrible storytelling that they were doing with the match.
Yeah, well, all right, hold up. Let me be fair. The WrestleMania match was not as horrendous as that House of Horrors match. That House of Horrors. Where were they? In San Jose, California. On the West Coast. It's still sunny out, and apparently it's nighttime in a building. That's great. That's
Well,
awesome.
obviously it was filmed like the day before.
Yeah, but they fucking came from a limo and drove to the arena. And then Randy Orton happened to show up at the same time.
True.
I still think that he should have shown up in that refrigerator. Like, the refrigerator should have been, like, hopping into the ring. That would have been awesome. Anyways, off trails again.
I'm just saying, Steve's version of WWE would be a much zanier WWE.
But the ratings would spike up. I guarantee it. Russo has no fucking, like, credibility on me.
Like Chikara levels of zaniness.
Dude.
Sin Cara gone.
I mean, yes. Jim Cornette would hate the shit out of me. I still think, when I was doing CAW, I think the idea with me and Kevin, Kristen will know who I'm talking about, we came up with an idea. We were going to parody John Laurinaitis and Teddy Long. We were going to call him John Laurin Racist and Teddy Short. And John Laurin Racist was going to be like an unintentional racist guy. Teddy Short would take it offensively. And what would happen is that they would start their own groups. All right? Oh, and Stu had some part in this, too. Teddy Short was going to have a group called the KKK, the Cracker Killer Coalition. And John Laurin Racist was going to have the NWA, National White Association. And they were going to get a group of guys on their roster to fight each other. And nobody would want to do it. They feel so awkward having to do this shit. It was going to be the greatest storyline ever.
I feel like this is a
I was waiting for the point where Guapo... I was waiting for the point where Guapo has to make his obligatory mention that Stewart looks like...
Oh, I was going to, but I decided not to. But if you want...
Oh, you're not going to do it?
Stewart looks like, a short-haired Brian... Kendrick.
Brian Kendrick. He constantly says that Stewart looks like Brian Kendrick.
Really? Of all people, Brian Kendrick?
Yes.
Damn.
Oh, by the way, for future reference, Stu hates that. So if you want to mess with him...
All right,
Tell him he looks like Brian Kendrick.
I'm going to message him. I'm a man with a plan! There we go.
No, just send him the link to the music video. To the Titantron.
Next segment, it was a backstage segment with AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, and Kevin Owens. AJ essentially wants a shot at Kevin. Kevin's not allowing him to answer his open challenge for the United States title. Bryan decides that there's going to be an Independence Day Battle Royale to be #1 contender for the U.S. title. For one, I always hate when Raw or SmackDown is on a holiday. I hate holiday-themed episodes of Raw and SmackDown.
I agree.
But that's the only comment I have about this segment. Other than, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles, it's not a bad match to have.
Two of the best.
Because clearly that's what this Battle Royale is going to be.
Pretty much.
Yeah, just to have AJ Styles go over.
Always.
Here we go. Then we had Maria and Mike coming out and doing their little love is ever. I know we've only seen it twice. I already hate this gimmick with such a red-hot passion.
Oh, this is
my God. I fucking hate this gimmick.
I have to say,
it's so awful.
Dude,
Kristen.
You know what the worst part of the gimmick is, too? They're holding hands, and they look up at it, and they stare at their own hands as they put it down, all the way down.
That's why I love it so much. It's such a troll gimmick.
Oh, I hate it so much. It's so awful.
Kristen,
Mm-hmm.
Brett texted me and said that he wants to play their theme music at my wedding for me and Danielle's first dance. I'm like, hell no.
No. Oh, God. Don't worry. That's never going to happen because I will end that shit.
I'm appalled that you are trying to play down Maria's love for this man that she looked, she searched 7 years for. Listen, this woman
I fucking hate it.
She just wants to spread the love of her man, who, theoretically, his gimmick at this point is a cuck. I'm just saying. He is a cuck. It's perfect. It's awesome. We've got this guy, Mike.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
We've got Mike Bennett.
I hate it so much. I hate it so much. I hope they get divorced.
That ain't right.
Oh,
I hate it.
That's wrong.
That's my quote for tonight.
Hate it.
That ain't right.
That is
That ain't
the
right.
level of. That is the level of hatred I have for this gimmick.
Oh, I hope to
Oh,
God.
it's so awful. I can't
Damn.
watch it.
Now
It's
I hope Mike wins the title and Maria wins the SmackDown Divas title. Now I'm praying for it.
I'm okay with that.
Oh my god, I fucking hate it. It's the worst gimmick. I've never been more happy to see Sami Zayn in my whole life.
Oh god, and that's another guy they're fucking up.
Yep.
Oh no, yeah, I had that too. We had Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin. Kristen Stewart face.
Yes, Kristen Stewart face. They can't do anything right with Sami Zayn. They wasted him on Raw. We were all hoping when he went to SmackDown that it would be better. They're wasting him on SmackDown. He's the Rey Mysterio gimmick.
Except taller.
He's constantly the underdog in every match he's in, and then he never fucking wins.
To be fair, he beat Baron Corbin a few times.
Not when it counts.
I mean, no, but...
He never ends a feud victorious.
No, not necessarily you don't win victoriously, but, I mean, it could be like, who's Evan Bourne, where he doesn't even win when it doesn't count.
That's true.
Kurt Hawkins, what?
That's the facts. Anyways.
Poor guy.
I mean, he's getting paid for 3 years, so.
True, he's getting a decent
any...
check, just a job, so.
Yeah, there's that. But it's such a waste.
Isn't... When the hell is Shelton Benjamin supposed to come back? Because I knew he got hurt, and that's what delayed him coming in.
That's what bothers me. He gets hurt, but yet he has a theme song saying, "Ain't no stopping me now." Well, of course, something stopped you! We're still waiting for you to come back. Fuck.
I mean, it's been over a year now, hasn't it?
Somewhat like that. Yeah, it was shortly after the draft they announced his return, and then he had to go to surgery.
Yeah, so, yeah. I feel like he should be back by at least almost now.
Something like that. What was next?
Nakamura did an interview in the back. Nakamura hasn't won me over. I understand that he's a great wrestler. I still don't get his gimmick. That's just me.
He's a Japanese Michael Jackson. That's all you need to know.
He's
How is that a gimmick?
How do you not get his gimmick? His gimmick is great. You're just not opening up your mind, man.
Yeah,
maybe that's it.
You're too focused on your hatred for the love of Mike and Maria Kanellis.
Maybe. I've hated them so long that I hated them before they were a thing in WWE.
That's right. That is right.
Let's move on to the big thing that happened at the end of the show.
Oh god.
Women's Money in the Bank Part 2.
10 times better than what it was at the actual show.
They pointed out the points earlier in the show about the double standard, about how, there have been men that interfered in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and titles were not taken away. But it's different because it's a woman, and then, but I'm still hung up on a dude had to, hand Carmella the briefcase. I had a few points on the match itself. I really liked the match. There were a few spots that I felt like were way too, we're setting this up for a spot kind of thing. If that makes any sense. Isn't that all of
wrestling?
It's true. Well, no, it was almost like it was telegraphed too much.
Too much setting up the spot or setting up the spot.
Yes, it was like, when Charlotte's taking like entirely too long to adjust where the ladder is in the middle of the ring, because it's like, oh, I need to give time for so-and-so to get up and come over here.
So-and-so hasn't decided to move their ass yet, so I can jump.
Maybe I had high expectations.
Yes, exactly. You were high.
Well, yeah, that's probably it. I'm fucking... like, literally, my head is touching the ceiling at the moment. Oh, my God. What is that thing crawling over there? Anyways, this match, to me, and the Money in the Bank one, I get it. The women do have a place here. And I was live when Bayley and Sasha Banks had the match at NXT TakeOver. That was a fucking awesome match. My girlfriend, who's a casual fan, loved it. That match made her a Bayley fan, like, for life. And I do believe that women can do this. But this match, just nothing of merit really happened. And again, maybe that's just too much of me expecting the women to go out there and bust their ass. But it's just like, maybe if this whole thing's supposed to be a revolution, they also got to be able to allow these women to go out there and impress people. Because they can. I mean, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, who else was in there? It was Tamina. Tamina's alright. Natalya.
Natalya and Carmella.
But three of those talents are exceptional. One is
one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just don't belong.
Yeah, four of them are white. One is Samoan. So, but Carmella's improving. I love Carmella right now. She is one of the best
I completely agree. Yes,
she is so awesome with James.
I like her. I think she went from doing essentially Enzo and Cass's bit over on SmackDown to now it's kind of turned into her own thing.
I agree. But as I was trying to say, like, months ago, they did the Hell in a Cell with Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Not only was it the Hell in a Cell, it was the first ever main event for the women. I thought that was a bad idea because I said, if these women are going to main event, they got to be better than the match, which was, what was it, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. They got to surpass them. And I thought it was possible, but they didn't. The match was sloppy. The match was just, it didn't have that oomph. And then you had Charlotte win, which obviously was not good. But it's like, if you're going to have these women main event, then, I mean, this is probably not a good thing for me to say, but you got to let the men tone it down so that these women can go ahead and impress everybody. Because otherwise, it's just going to look subpar.
I disagree with that. I think if you're going to have them be equal to the men, they have to be equally as impressive. Case in point, Bayley versus Charlotte, or Bayley versus Sasha, was a phenomenal match. It was on par with, what match did they have that night? I think Finn Balor and Kevin Owens fought that night.
It was better than that, in my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah. It was better than their match. It deserved the spot it got. And I don't think the men should have to tone it down so that the women can do good. I think the point is that all of the matches, whether they are men or women's matches, need to be good. You don't just put the women's match as the main event just to be like, look how progressive we are. We're putting the women's match as the main event. You need to put it as the main event because it's going to sell as a main event. Because it's going to be a match everyone wants to see and it will deliver.
Let me reiterate what I was saying, because actually what you said was exactly how I feel. When I watched this match, this Money in the Bank match, they didn't really do any big spots, and that's my point. It's like, if these women are going to have a match like this, like you said, they need to be able to be as equal as the men. But if you're not going to allow these women to go ahead and do these crazy spots, I'm not saying do what you did in the Attitude Era where they're fucking flying off 16-foot cages, but I think there are spots that women could do that, like Tamina, for example. She's again, relatively larger woman. I can guarantee she could probably handle a big spot. You mean to tell me there couldn't have been at least one spot in there that makes everybody's jaw drop and go, oh my god, like, even just one. I didn't really see one. And that's why I said, if you're not going to do that, then you got to tell men, tone it down. But if you're going to say, no, men, tone it up, then you got to let the women tone it up. It's got to be fair.
I think they didn't get the spots per se. Like when you see the men, when you think of the men's Money in the Bank, when you think of the Money in the Bank ladder match, you think of somebody being powerbombed onto one of the ladders, even if it's just laying down in the match. And it's gone way more extreme than that. They've pushed people off the ladder onto another ladder that's propped in between two ladders so that the fucking ladder breaks in half. Like that kind of bullshit. But definitely in the Money in the Bank match, you see guys suplexing guys onto another ladder. Mm-hmm. You see guys pushing the ladder off on
ladders.
Yes, you see these kinds of moves on the ladders. Essentially, what the ladder was only used for on the SmackDown match was to climb. That's the only thing. They didn't try and hit each other with the ladder. Like, nothing. It was literally, this ladder is to climb and, to push people off of.
Yeah, and they barely did anything when they were knocked off. They always landed on their feet. And in fact, there was one spot when the ladder was being tipped over and the girls were too high up. They were purposely climbing a little bit lower down so that they didn't have to take a big bump. And it was just like, this is ridiculous. Like
you have to see, saying. we haven't got a woman wrestler yet who is going to be the Dolph Ziggler and take the massive bump and sell like no other yet.
Maybe Candice LeRae, Johnny Gargano's wife.
Yeah, she could. Ruby Riott definitely could too, because she's. I've seen stuff with her from Glimmer and not Glimmer, Shimmer.
Nikki Cross could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these girls in developmental could definitely.
Asuka,
I see the one giving the bumps.
Well, I think she could take the bumps too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're right. There is no Dolph Ziggler of the women's division that takes these crazy bumps. And we're not saying they need to beat the shit out of each other. But like Monoxide just pointed out, they're like purposely like not taking as big a bump as some of these guys have. Like I said, in ladder matches, guys have power bombed other guys. Like they've taken two ladders and they've weaved another ladder through them and then power bombed them into that middle ladder, and then it like breaks the fucking ladder in half.
And then
like we've watched ladder matches where we've watched ladder matches where we're like, oh my god, I think I just watched that guy die on live TV.
It wasn't this year. Was it last year at Money in the Bank when Kalisto did the Kalisto del Sol, whatever he calls it.
Samurai del Sol, I think.
Whatever
Selena
it is.
Del Sol?
Selena del Sol.
Selena del Sol.
With, I want to say it was Kofi? No. I can't remember who it was. But he did that on one of those ladders that was weaved in between the rope and the other ladder, and it was like just brutal to look at.
Well, here's another restriction that they did. You know the spot where this is a famous spot in the Money in the Bank, where one ladder is in the middle, it's standing up, ready to be climbed. Somebody takes a flattened ladder, puts it onto the side of it, and Shelton Benjamin runs up the flat ladder and clotheslines the person off the top. Well, Charlotte set it up just like that, but instead of running and then clotheslining whoever it was up there, she just placed it on and then climbed up and then tried to grab the briefcase, and it was just like, if you're a wrestling like historian where you've watched so much, you'd be disappointed by that, especially since this is supposed to be the women progressing into a men's dominated environment.
Well, and hang on, I'm coming back over to my mic. They're having a problem. I'm trying to be the one that says all of this because I know a lot of people say it, and then most of these guys get called sexist for saying it. So I'm trying to be the one that fucking says it because I believe it as well. It's like it's like a weird like affirmative action they're giving them these matches just to be like, look, we're giving the women these matches, but they're not really giving them the matches. Mm-hmm. They're not giving them these really hardcore matches.
They're doing it just to do it and get it out the way.
Mm-hmm. Just to be like, this is the first ever women's blah blah blah. Whereas
you go ahead.
Whereas the actual first women's main event. First time the women main evented a Raw was Trish Stratus versus Lita for the women's title. It was a feud that had been built up and built up. These two women were fucking destroying each other in the back. They were Lita was jumping Trish. She had broken her nose at the pay-per-view. Like, it was, they were all out fighting, and then Chris Jericho was the general manager at the time. Not just for that show. Made the match, and they had it in the main event, and they, like, fucking beat the shit out of each other. Lita almost broke her neck again as she like, fucking suicide dived into Trish, into the barricade, and shit.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, if you're gonna have this, if you're gonna give the women this push, and be like, the women are now equal to the men, like, the only difference is what title they're going for, essentially. If you're gonna do that, you have to have the same caliber matches. Mm-hmm. You can't just give them a Money in the Bank match, put a bunch of women in there, and then it not be the same caliber, or else it's not gonna fucking mean anything.
And also have James Ellsworth climb up and take the briefcase and drop it down.
I don't even care about that, because that's part of his gimmick. That's part of him and Carmella's shtick, is that he's just so fucking in love with her. And she clearly doesn't want anything to do with him, but is using him. Like, that's a shtick that's happened before.
Not only that.
But, they're not doing the big spots. If you want to have the Ellsworth helps Carmella, blah, 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 and then all the women hate him, and I mean, clearly they've kind of focused this on Becky Lynch, have fucking Ellsworth wrestle Becky Lynch, and have them have a real match.
You know that ain't happening, unless Becky squashes him completely. Because nowadays, if a man even, like, puts his hand on a woman, it's like the end of the world. We have to...
That's the thing that the Attitude Era did very little right with the women's division when it came to women in wrestling. They were either like Jacqueline or Jazz or whatever. Like,
that was Jacqueline.
Jacqueline, who won the didn't she win the Cruiserweight title for a minute there?
That was after the
No, not the Cruiserweight title. She won a male title at some point.
It was the Cruiserweight title.
So you either had that, but you had a lot of, like, bra and panty matches and pudding matches and lingerie pillow fights and shit like that.
Chyna being called holder of the Intercontinental Championship with Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If you're going to have the women have something like a Money in the Bank ladder match, fucking let them have a ladder match. If you're not gonna if you're gonna have them have a ladder match and then not do any of the shit, they might as well be back doing fucking bra and panties matches. Because essentially what you're saying is you don't want them to get cut up and bloody, because then they're not gonna look good.
Well, I don't know if it's so much that, but it's obvious they don't want to...
That's what it says to me.
I mean, this is what it says to me. It says to me that they're too afraid of a public backlash of people saying, "Oh my God, you're abusing these women." You know, because this is what I don't get about society as a whole. Okay, women need to be treated equal as men. Okay, fairly agree. But as soon as you want to give them the equality, then they want to pull back and say, "Oh no, wait, you can't do that to a woman." It's like, why not? Oh, well, because they're weaker. Well, then doesn't that completely negate the whole idea that you want them to be treated equally like men? Because now you're basically saying we're inherently different. In my opinion, there's nothing wrong to say we're inherently different, because we are, biologically. But if you're going to tell me they're going to have this ladder match, then let them go out there and let them go balls to the wall. Let them... I shouldn't say balls to the wall. I should say let them do at least something that you know isn't going to kill one of the other person. As long as it's trained and planned.
It's hard to justify this Money in the Bank ladder match when I'm literally looking at Twitter right now on NXT's feed, and I'm watching, by the way, I don't really want to spoil what happened on NXT. Asuka and Nikki Cross had a last woman standing match, and there's literally a clip of Asuka suplexing Nikki Cross off of the top of a ladder through the NXT announce table.
It's crazy. But see,
because Asuka gives no fucks.
But that's the other thing, too. You want to know why the NXT women's division works? It's because they didn't go out of their way to say, this is a revolution. They just went out there and revolutionized. They didn't say, oh, we're a revolution.
Exactly.
They just
Because
did it.
Because they made the title a women's title, not a divas title.
Well, not even just that. They didn't slap some sort of revolution title onto it, or like some sort of monicum of, oh, we're going to be a revolution now. No, they just decided, okay, we're going to try and treat the women seriously and have good matches. Then they started having good matches, and it just progressed from there. As we said, Bayley and Sasha worked because it was a great storyline. They didn't have this whole, oh, we're a Divas Revolution. No, it was Bayley is trying her best to accomplish the big one. And it's fucking simple. A simple storyline, but it works. Anyway.
Yes.
That was SmackDown.
That NXT clip kind of made me want us to talk about NXT, but we can't because it's happening right now.
And we didn't watch it.
This podcast has gone on far long enough.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be about 2.5 hours.
That's okay. There are podcasts that go for 2 hours.
It happens.
Plus, I said they're sports entertained by my awesome booking.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
Right.
So I guess this was the pilot episode of Squared Circle Breakdown.
Oh, that's the name we're calling it? Okay, cool.
Yes, Squared Circle Breakdown.
Squared Circle Breakdown, everybody. It's going to be more than one episode. Trust me. I'm going to make my determination. I will hound these two and make sure that they stay on tap.
By these two, he means just Kristen.
Okay.
Hey, fuck you, man. I showed up. I'm here.
That ain't right.
Whatever. If anybody's flaking, it's gonna be Monoxide.
Flaking?
I would put my money down.
That ain't right. That ain't right one bit.
Well, if that happens, we just go back to Wrestle Recap.
I will not flake. I will make sure of it because this has been fucking entertaining. I'm gonna give my booking ideas every week. I'm gonna do it.
God.
We'll have to have a special segment. Steve books Raw.
Oh,
No, it's just gonna happen during the whole thing.
Yeah, during the whole thing. It's just Squared
This
Circle
is what
Breakdown.
happens. This is what I would have did because I'm better.
Squared Circle Breakdown, everyone. We're literally everything, including the format of the show, just breaks down and goes off the rails and goes on side tangents about people getting deported that we never meant to go down, but here we are.
So you know it's just a shtick.
So in other words, if you're a fan of the Young Turks, do not watch the show. I'm just letting you know now. All right. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun talking to you.
Should we pimp out our Twitter accounts?
I barely
That's
use
what we
it.
do at the end of shows.
If you want to, go ahead.
Kristen, take
Do
control.
you even have a Twitter, Monoxide?
I do, but
have a Twitter account?
I haven't tweeted in like a year.
I'm the same way,
maybe
but
you
I
should
still give it out.
Yeah, but when I'm watching Raw, I'm talking to my girlfriend. That's more important to me than letting people know what I'm thinking at that moment. So, that's just me personally. I mean, I could always tell her to go fuck herself, but
I don't know how that would
later.
work.
yeah, that's usually frowned upon in relationships. Just, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I know if I told my fiance that, I would get a nice swift slap to the face, and then I'd be sleeping on the couch.
I want that to happen. I want to see that.
No, God no. I'm about to have the house to myself besides Suave here
I'm
for
just
the
saying,
next.
this is the same. Hang on, Guapo. This is the same woman that's letting you essentially have an entrance theme at your wedding.
It's gonna be glorious.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna finish up here because I don't want to bring somebody's private life onto my YouTube channel. Anyway,
No. This is fine. People know this.
That ain't right.
I get to walk out to Bobby Roode's Glorious for my wedding.
He has a robe too.
Getting it, yes.
All let's see. If I was getting married, holy shit, what would I come out to? Damn. That ain't right.
Find out on the next podcast.
Oh yeah, this will be a part of the booking thing. Anyway.
What would you get married? What theme music would you walk out to for your wedding? That your spouse, that your soon-to-be spouse would be okay with.
Yes.
What would be your entrance theme if you were getting married? Comments down below.
There you go. Take care.
If you made it this far.
Shut up. Take care.